Hey guys, it's Brock with eBike Generation. We're here at the headquarters of Bakcou. We're so excited to be here. Brian here is actually going to introduce us to a brand new bike. It's actually called the Flatlander, and it's a new bike this year. So Brian, why don't you introduce us to this new bike?
Absolutely. Thanks, Brock. Really excited to introduce you to our 2020 Flatlander. The Flatlander is built after the #1 selling fat tire electric hunting bike on the market, and that is the Mule. The Flatlander is the exact same bike. Comes with the wide handlebars, comes with the locking handle grips, comes with the 9-speed, has the dual piston hydraulic disc brakes, the front air suspension, the 26-inch Maxxis Minion tires, comes stock with front and rear fenders with a pannier rack, comes with that GT Mark high-end air front fork, comes with the wide stance pedals with the big cleats to grab your boots. The only difference between this bike and the #1 selling fat tire electric hunting bike in the US, which is the Mule, is the motor. We had a number of customers that reached out to us over the last few years and said, we absolutely love the Mule. However, we live in an area, maybe the Midwest or Florida, where we never climb a hill. Our Mule was built for rough, rugged terrain. It was built for climbing, 160 Newton meters of torque. You can climb anything that you want to climb and anything that you dare ride back down. But they were telling us we don't climb these steep hills. We're hunting along cornfields and we've got to get 1.5 miles or 2 miles down a long road, but it's not necessarily straight up and straight down. And it seemed as if the Mule with that Bafang Ultra mid-drive motor, that diesel engine wasn't necessary. It's almost like purchasing a diesel truck to go down and get your groceries in it. Just didn't need it. So what we did was we came out in 2020 with our Flatlander. Our Flatlander built exactly like the Mule, but instead of having that Bafang Ultra mid-drive motor, it has a 750 watt rear hub motor. This motor creates 60 Newton meters of torque compared to 160 Newton meters of torque. Just to kind of put that into perspective, Brock and I talked about this a little bit earlier, and John with eBike Generation, we've had a number of conversations about torque and pulling and towing. 160 Newton meters of torque is roughly 3 times what a professional cyclist would create. So a typical professional cyclist that we watched racing on the Tour de France, they're creating about 50 Newton meters of torque. This bike creates 60 Newton meters of torque. So still a lot of power, still gets you up into that 30 plus mile an hour range. It's just built for more flatland and rolling hills. Doesn't quite have that low end torque to tow quite as much weight. Doesn't have that low end torque that you're going to be climbing the steep ascents. But for those riders that don't need it, they get all of the high end components of the Mule, with the suspension, to the long lasting lithium ion cell batteries, to the racks and the mud fenders, the front 400 lumen headlight, the hydraulic dual piston brakes. It really gives them all of those upgraded features for the bike that they would need to use it in. And we're really excited about this bike. It comes with a color LCD display. We've already had such an overwhelming response, and I know John and Brock and the guys there at eBike Generation have also had a number of customers that have been waiting for this bike to come out.
100%. These guys are awesome. I mean, Bakcou, they're always trying to help the customer and feed the customer with what they need. Like he was saying, the other bikes are awesome. These bikes back here, you can climb like crazy. I've ridden them. I've tried them out. This bike, awesome bike, but like he's saying, it's going to get you, where you need to go, more flat. It's got this awesome motor in the back. I really, really like this bike. I actually just took it out. It's like I said, it's a brand new bike, so I just took it out and rode it for the first time, and so I'm so excited for it, and I hope that it meets our customers' demand. And
surprising about the amount of power that it has. I mean, like I said, easily you can do 30 plus miles an hour on this bike. It's going to do all the things that you need to do when you're riding in that flat ground or that rolling hill country. We know that you're going to love it. This bike comes with, we also have a little bit of a different model to this bike. So this is our regular Flatlander. You can also purchase this bike in a Flatlander step-through. So the step-through model, if you've watched a couple of our other videos, we've talked about the Mule and the Mule step-through. Well, the Flatlander also comes in a step-through model. The frame is a little bit smaller and it comes on 24-inch wheels. What that allows for is this bike really fits guys anywhere in the range of maybe 5 foot 6'8", 5'9", all the way up to 6'8". They may have to make a couple of modifications if they're in the 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" range, maybe putting on a stem extender and maybe putting a little bit longer gooseneck and raising the seat up a little bit. But our step-through model now actually comes in it's exactly like the Flatlander, comes in a little smaller package. The frame is a little bit smaller, it sits a little bit lower. It's gonna fit our riders that are anywhere in that 4'10" to maybe 5'6", 5'7" range. Makes them feel a lot more stable. They're lower to the ground, they've got a shorter standover height. And
it comes with the same motor here, same motor in the back.
Exact same motor. It's built exactly like the Flatlander. The Flatlander ST is just for that little bit shorter leg length. We know that it's going to be a popular bike. We got them in a couple of weeks ago, and Brock and I were laughing earlier that we underestimated the popularity of the Flatlander and the Flatlander ST. We had them on the website for just a few days, and we sold out just that quick. So keep your eye on the website for the Flatlander and Flatlander ST. If you see them on there, you might want to jump on them before they're gone. Thanks so much for watching.